Yo.
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 Flames talk, we're back, baby.
Woo!
We've been doing this for 1 year, and we instantly realized we also have to watch Flames hockey when they're losing.
Walker dude.
Connor Zari's looking promising, man.
Boom, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fucking Stuff Podcast. Presenting in the left corner. No, it'd be your right, because it switches when it's on recording. And the right corner with a winning average of 14-0. B-Dog. And the left corner representing T-Dog. Fantastic, boys. All right, I'm getting pretty hyped here. I'm just like that Team USA. Both confirmed. Both confirmed.
Ooh.
We're back.
We're back,
Fucking
baby.
Stuff Podcast is back for a whole nother year of mediocre Flames hockey, but even better NHL hockey. T-Dog, I'm excited. How are you feeling, good sir? I see you got yourself a good old mic stand there, hey?
Yeah, I'm finally hands-free over here. I don't have to hold a mic anymore.
Man, I guess I'm the
jealous?
peasant. I'm the peasant, bro.
No,
That's how it is. I'm gonna have to get one, all right? But
Hey.
no, it's solid. It looks good, man.
Thank
You're looking professional, and buddy, that Blasty jersey's fantastic. Like, let me
Ooh.
tell you,
We
like,
had a
buddy,
good Christmas.
buddy, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was a jersey, I'd have to be the Blasty jersey because I'm such a stud, you know. So, anyways, enough of that of the prideful talk here. We're back, boys. A Puck and Stuff podcast, new year, not new season, but pretty much halfway through the season. And we'll start off with the Flames talk here. Not much has happened because of the big break, but they're looking good. Players are looking good. The team's looking good. Maybe this year will be nice to us.
Maybe, or maybe not. Last time we talked about them in literally last week, we literally titled it Hoping for Losses, Hoping for Trades, because our idea of this team last episode was we want this team to suck because we want a top 5 pick. But since then, the last game we talked about was the LA King game where we lost 5-3, right? Since then, on the 27th, we versed the Seattle Kraken and we lost 2-1, and Seattle jumped us in the standings, which wasn't great. Then we move on to the 31st, New Year's Eve. We beat the Flyers 4-3, which was a really nice win. I wasn't expecting it since the Flyers have played pretty well this season. And then we jump into the new year. We verse the Minnesota Wild on the 2nd and win 3-1 against Minnesota, who we've been having a little bit of problems with this season for sure. We played the Nashville Predators the other day, who are first in the wild card right now, and we win 6-3. I think that was one of the best games I've seen from this team this year so far. Like, literally.
Yeah, most convincing out of all those games to me that you just talked about.
Yeah.
That Preds game, right off the bat, they were getting pucks to the net, play with a lot of energy, and they kept it for a good amount of the game.
Yeah.
You keep playing like that, you're bound to get somewhere up in the standings, and you're gonna get more wins. I kind of want to quickly just retrace back to some of those other games. From the Kraken game, they came back from the break and they were just sloppy. Simple as that. It was just a sloppy game, 2-1. You know, that one goal that I can't remember which Kraken guy scored now. It's been a minute since that game happened, but then you play that Philly game. That Philly game was pretty solid, though. I gotta say, you put on a show because Philly's been playing with a little bit of house money, just the way they have been performing recently. You get a good win at home. Hopefully, the next game that they play actually after this comes out will be against the Flyers. So you hope you can redo that game and just do that on Philadelphia ice. Hey, I mean, it could happen. They put a video out on YouTube there. They were going up the Rocky stairs, so they're probably feeling like a bunch of champs right now. So that's pretty solid. That's pretty sick. I kind of want to go to Philadelphia now. Anyways, yeah, you kind of play that game in Minnesota. Minnesota, they were injured. Kaprizov was out. They weren't playing their best goalie, right? Fleury was in, Gustafson's injured.
Hey,
especially
1,000 games
such
for
as that.
Fleury against the Flames, though. You did
Oh,
get
that's
a
true.
1,000 games.
Oh, I'm not saying anything whatever about him. It's just he's getting older, and honestly, like the better goalie
Making
is.
me feel older.
You took advantage of that, and that's what you needed to do. They played a pretty good effort game. And we usually struggle with Minnesota, especially in Minnesota. So that was nice to get that win. I'll quickly want to hear your thoughts, but ultimately, my whole wrap up with this is they're looking pretty good at the start of the year, and some players are getting the monkeys off their back, and props to them. Uh, they look like they want it now, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Kind of a surprising sign because since the last time we talked about the Flames, last episode, we were hoping for losses and hoping for trades. Obviously, we're not getting that right now. We're getting wins, which honestly, I can't complain about. It's good hockey to watch. It really is when you're really looking at this team. Like the goaltending looks fantastic, the defense look a little bit better, and we can break into a zone now. Like this is the best I've seen us break into a zone so far this season. And you got to give a lot of credit to Zari in that sense for sure. But now you look at our position in the standings right now. We are a couple spots outside of a wild card, but if we just keep winning games like we do right now, we could jump up really quick into that conversation of being a wild card team, right? So technically, if we're going back to the standing predictions we made, I could potentially be right about Calgary being a wild card team.
You're
But
right. You're right. You could.
I
I
could.
mean, the and my pessimistic mindset with this team, because that's what sports fans do to their team,
Yeah.
is a lot of other teams are getting hot at the same time. Edmonton being one of them. St. Louis is still up in that mix. Arizona is not going to let off the gas pedal. Same with Nashville when it comes to those wild card spots. So really, I think it's up to just if you want to make the playoffs, there's adversity, but it could happen. It very much could. The Sportsnet panel on the radio talking about how, well, the point about it is playoffs or not, you're in a position where you could make a wild card spot, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go for it. However, those trades, right? So I think that's the looming factor. These trades are gonna happen soon, and they have to. So before you know it, maybe even before the All-Star game, you kept joking how, well, Lindholm's in the All-Star game, but he's gonna like pull a Horvat. And it's very true, he could. So you're probably gonna see a few of those trades happen. Now, what do you think? These trades happen. Do you think that completely affects and diminishes their chances of making a wild card spot or not?
Yeah. Well, that's a very interesting question. But first, we all know which Flame deserved that All-Star spot first. And
Yeah,
Blake
man. I don't know why it
Coleman.
wasn't Coleman.
Why
Don't know why it
wasn't it
wasn't Coleman.
Coleman? My God, that
Buddy,
that made me
absolute
mad.
stud.
That
Coleman's
made
a
me,
stud, bro.
yeah.
Absolute stud. I like
So
he's a stud, man.
he
Like I'm
really
gonna keep saying it.
is. Like him and it should have
But
been either him or Weir. Like
Sharon Govich could even make some sort of a point too, in a sense. Sorry, bro. I'm just saying.
you just
Markstrom,
named at
actually,
least 4 to 5
legit.
players that could have been
No,
jumped
no,
over
no.
Lidholm.
Markstrom too. Think of the bounce back he's having. Like Markstrom is like, and the only reason why no one's talking about Markstrom's performance is because it's the Flames.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening with this team. No big splash in the playoffs, right? But he has had a fantastic comeback from last season, and I'm so glad about that. He's been playing outstanding. He is a big reason, not that you're in games, but he's a big reason why you're winning games. Aside from the fact that the team is playing better. And, that's great to have. At least the nice, and I feel like we've said this a few times throughout the season, at least the one thing we don't have to worry about is goaltending problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a lot
Ladar's last
of
goal.
opening on goaltending. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, so
So,
he could have been it. Excuse me. Yeah, Markstrom could have made it as well. And yeah, I mean, that's our point. I don't really like Lindholm. It makes sense, right? And it starts to name guy and stuff, but I mean, it could be. You're right. You're right. As much as you keep joking about it, and yeah, as I think about it, it could happen. It could be a Horvat 2.0 idea. So
Well,
we'll
that's
see.
why I kind of want to backtrack a little bit to your question. If we do make these trades, will it really affect the consistency of how we're playing right now as it is? And all I would say is depends who you trade. Because if first say you and I were even talking about this outside of the podcast, and we're like, which one do you think will get traded first? And I said Chris Tanev will probably be the first one to get traded, and I'm predicting he gets traded before the All-Star break. That's my prediction right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
A defenseman like Chris Tanev is so hard to get rid of because he's the best
I
shot
don't want
blocker
to.
on the team right now. So if you lose a guy like that
I don't want to.
defensively, yeah, but 1 year, they're almost 35. He's aging. The team's looking younger in that direction. It makes sense to trade him. As much as it hurts, it has to be done. But I think that will impact it a little bit since now that injuries are causing a lot of problems on the defensive side for a while. We're having to bring up AHL guys, and that's kind of concerning on the defensive part. I mean, I don't think forward wise, if we trade Elias Lindholm, I mean, it probably won't hurt it as bad as people would think. And especially if we're even going back to last episode about the Byram trade rumors. Imagine if we get Byram to substitute defense and we just sadly lose the asset in Elias Lindholm for the forwards, though. But then Zari gets more minutes. Kadri gets more minutes. Pospisil gets more minutes. Like, you're getting more chances for those guys instead of Lindholm there. So the production could be like go down a little bit forward wise, but it could go up a lot defensive wise if they get the right trade. So
Yeah. Ultimately, it still could work out. Nashville did a similar thing, and they almost did it.
whole draft
Right?
class, whole
So,
draft class.
exactly. It all just depends. I mean, you put young guys in, they could be hungry to show off what they got. So maybe you keep a consistency in that, in high effort and high intensity in your play. But the reality is this: you lose Tanev, you lose shot blocks, you lose Hannafin, you lose a solid piece who plays minutes and is a solid defenseman overall. And if you lose Lindholm, although he hasn't scored much, you're you're gonna lose a center, and you need centers, and you're gonna lose another shot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to replace, but you hope that in a few years, when you replace him with Coronado, that in a few years Coronado, can take that place, in a certain sense, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm all for it because, and I think you agree with me. We know that even if this team makes playoffs, how many games we last in? Let's be real here. 5, 6? I
We're
give it 6
lucky if
games.
we're lucky if we get the 6, but I'm saying
I
5.
give it 6 games just because, we'll win 2 and we'll be like, no, they could do something. LA 2.0 and then just yeah. So that's what's gonna happen.
Gotcha.
So I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, I think that's what I'm waiting for now is more or less anything. See how get these trades out of the way and then see how the team looks. I just want to see more young guys get into the league or get into the team and just kind of play from there. Also, too, and we'll have to get into this later, but Shillington.
Oliver Shillington's back in Calgary. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back with the Wranglers right now. So I believe he was practicing with them yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So I can definitely say with our defensive kind of problems right now, it is very nice to see a guy like Oliver Shillington back on the ice because he was dealing with a lot of personal problems, sadly enough. But now he looks like he's back on the ice wanting to play hockey again. So as a Flames fan that notice that we're trading defensemen very soon. That's very nice to see.
Oh, it is great. The thing is it's still gonna take time.
Yeah.
Especially that time away. So it's great that to see the progress being made. Which it's great that there's some light and some positivity to that story, right? But yeah, I think of course right now I'll just still have to kind of figure out your defensive woes in a different way.
Yep.
But hey, it's just a positive. Honestly, let's take these positives and and run with them because good for him. Like this has been a long time coming, and look where it is. Like I gotta say, like we always whatever with the management. Props to the management. They have dealt with this in a very professional manner. I respect that. I don't think a lot of organizations would deal with it in that way. So props to the org for letting Shillington kind of just recover in his own in the much needed time he's needed. So yeah, that's good to kind of mention.
Yeah, I'm happy he's back. I can't wait to see him back on the ice for the Calgary Flames because our power play needs a defenseman that can be a playmaker in that core right now. I can definitely
Yeah, for sure. Moving
definitely.
defenseman too. A little
I
bit of
think
offensive ability.
I,
Sorry.
I've missed that.
Sorry, my bad.
I've missed that with this team.
Yeah. Well, man, I like that 21-22 team. I mean, a lot of that. Like, you realize what you miss with that team, and there's a few things. And for sure, uh, confidence in your defenseman moving the puck it was nice to have.
Yeah, it really was.
So that'd be nice to kind of get that back when possible.
Huh.
Huberto and Mangiapane get their monkeys off the back. So that's
Wow.
nice.
Monkey off
Hey.
the back. He scored one goal in 19
Listen,
games.
Savard's power play might not be that good, but his PK is fantastic.
Yeah.
And he can tape sticks like no other because he's gotten Lindholm and Huberto out of slumps. So what do you say to that, buddy? Stumped you.
Yeah, he stumped me on the $10.5 million player game, one goal. Dude, it just keeps looking more and more bleak. It just keeps looking more and more bleak with this
Bro,
player.
his pass to Zari that one game, oh man, that was solid.
I'm happy he's making passes for once when he needs to make a pass instead of shoot, but he's still shoot instead of make a pass.
He's looking more confident, and that's what matters, okay? Let's take wins when we can. The new line is Lindholm, Huberto, and Sharangovich. You have a passer with two shooters. So I see what they're kind of going with that. And it's
just
somewhat
so
working.
weird because if you really think about it, in our last few conversations about the idea that Huberto and Lindholm just don't work together on a line, it really just took Sharangovich to make that connection work. Like, really?
But I think that Sharangovich is honestly a much better player than we all expected because kind of coming in, I knew that Sharangovich has some sort of potential. Even though it wasn't showing much for say come last season. But yeah, I mean that's just been a great story to look at. I'm looking at the lines right now. At this point, it's 100% true, all fact, no cap. Michael Backman makes players better. Like every player who plays on his line improves somewhat when they are like Mangiapane. Is there a coincidence that Mangiapane somewhat gets his monkey off his back when he starts playing with Backlund Coleman?
Actually, that makes more sense when you think about it because before Mangiapane got moved back, Huberto was with Backlund. And then he went back up to the first line with Lindholm and he scores.
Like you figured out Zari, Kadri, Pospisil. I mean, right now with how the team's been playing in the past few games, Huberto, Lindholm, Sharangovich is fine. Pospisil, Kadri, Zari is woohoo! Oh yeah! Backlund, Coleman, Mangiapane is let's go, baby. Fourth line is like I expect that to where a career Ruzicka would be, but your boy Dylan Dubé there, man. Buddy, he's gonna get a solid trade piece. He will be a solid trade piece for Bowen Byram. So that's all I'm saying.
This is gonna hurt when we trade him, isn't it? I keep hearing these rumors about trading him, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't be true. I do like Dylan Dubé. I still think he still has enough age on his side to make a comeback, in my opinion. But I was even listening to this on the radio, and they even noticed Dylan Dubé is busting his ass out there to try to get a goal, but nothing's just going his way right now.
Yeah, it's just not luck. He's always one of the guys on Twitter, like the reporter, was saying that he's like one of the last guys always off the ice and one of the first guys on. He's at every morning skate. So work ethic wise, props to him.
I respect a guy like that.
Working guy, man.
Lose a guy like that.
Those are guys who score playoff goals, hey? Who score like timely playoff goals.
Yeah, I'd rather lose Mangiapane than him. I said it right there. Hot take. I'd rather lose Mangiapane than Dubé.
Yeah, I mean, You know, it'd be nice if all could play to the extent that they were guaranteed. But this is what happens in Canadian media, everyone. You have a player. They play well in the World Juniors, they play well in the juniors, and they're overhyped. And then we get disappointed. And it's not like anything on him. It's just maybe that's not what his play style is in the NHL. How many times does this happen? Like, I swear, it's like I almost wonder if it's good that Team Canada didn't win gold this year, because I wonder if all those Canadian players who are either undrafted or already drafted aren't going to be thought of much, and they're going to kind of come out of the woodworks and be like, "Whoa, what is this player like? That's a good like I'm telling you right now, off topic, but Rousseau, Canada's goaltender, whoever's picking him up, but he's gonna be a stud, absolute stud.
Oh yeah,
Those Halifax Moosehead players are freaking fantastic, man.
They
So,
actually
anyways, that's my
so
whole
well
point.
in the juniors, man. This is actually
Oh yeah, he's fantastic, man.
Actually,
Like,
you know what?
crazy.
I kind of want to switch it up a bit. Since we're
Yeah.
speaking about rumors, T-Dog, I do have a question for you. Last episode, we did kind of room the idea that Elias Lindholm has been kind of getting talked about a lot in the media about trade rumors. And now a lot of people are looking at Markstrom at the same idea of, oh, this could be a really good piece, the trade, since he's playing so well. T-Dog, what are your thoughts on getting rid of a goalie again?
Problem is, can we call them rumors? Because it's more like speculations of like, this would be a great idea if I was the GM, you know, because all us armchair GMs know what to do.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is making me laugh more than any time like one of the goalies does well or one of the players does well, and there's always one guy. I mean, we all agree with him, but there's always one guy who's like, "This is great. His trade value is skyrocketing right now," and it's like, "Yep, you're right."
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
so true.
And
Yeah,
guess what?
Markstrom's
We're not
one
going
of
to
them
do
right
anything
now.
with it.
Markstrom's one of them right now. Murray Edwards ain't gonna take your opinion, buddy.
Oh my god. He's not
It's
gonna
not gonna happen. But yeah, it's I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you could get some assets. I think
You
the
could get
long
Wolf back
tenure.
in. You
I
get
Wolf
Wolf.
needs it's all in good timing, right? And so maybe that Connor's playing that game better than what I expect. But you know, yeah, you know, you could get an asset. Like, who needs a goalie?
New
Who would give up
Jersey,
assets?
Edmonton, not Pittsburgh. New Jersey, Edmonton.
Pittsburgh should. I'm gonna be straight up. Tristan Jarry
Pittsburgh needs more
is
forwards,
no,
dude. Pittsburgh
yeah,
power plays Garbo.
yeah. Well, Eric Carlson should have filled that in.
Yeah,
Oh, he's a
I mean,
defenseman.
that's
He is.
facts. You speak
Oh,
of
weird.
fact there. You
For
speak.
Washington to do, man. Dylan Strome masterclass.
Oh my
Well,
god.
they don't need a goalie. They'll be Lindgren's been fantastic.
Toronto needs a goalie.
Nothing's
Carolina
funny.
needs a goalie.
Ottawa's kind of. I thought Corpusalo would be fantastic, but
I thought so too. That's why I'm like,
been all right.
oh,
He's been all
Ottawa's
right.
going to do so good this year, right?
You know, Detroit goalie. Detroit.
Yeah. I mean,
I think who's still
sadly enough, James Reimer isn't enough, which kind of.
I love James Reimer, man. Optimus Ryan. Never the same since that 2013 L.
I mean,
Legit,
you could realistically, if you want to throw another name in there, you could say LA, but I mean, they got Cam Talbot.
Talbot's a stud, man. Like, Buddy's playing so good. It's like you kind of just need to ride the hot hand, even if it's just for one season. Props to Talbot, by the way. I love Talbot. Like, I've always been a fan of him. Pre and post Flames tenure.
Yeah,
he's always been good.
But there are
if only
options.
He played like this.
There are a lot of options.
There are. You're right. You know what? You say New Jersey. Goodness gracious! Thank you for saying New Jersey. Now I can get all. We could get a.
Give
we
us
get
a
a
first
Dawson
round
Mercer?
pick and a few assets.
Hold on. There's actually a few players I wouldn't mind, like young guys that you could, take off this roster. But at the end of the day, yeah, picks. I mean, they have their first round for this year. They have their third and two fifths. So you probably, yeah, you could get a fifth out of them, and then maybe like a young guys and like Holtz or Mercer. I like that. You're not getting any of the defense, even though I'd love to take a swing at Jonas Siegenthaler or someone like that, right?
Yeah, but like
But
again, that's why I'm kind of
yeah,
saying there is options if Calgary does decide to trade Markstrom. And when you really think about it, why this is probably the best time to do it since he's playing so well. And then actually, you know what? That is the guy that will lose you games once you trade him. Markstrom, once you trade Markstrom, you start losing games 100%. And he's keeping us in games. He's playing pretty well.
no, you got a great point. That's true because you lose 10. Like I'll go back to what I said. You lose 10 if you lose block shots. But apparently Sloviov can do that. So maybe yeah, get people to kind of step up the game. Same with Hanifin. Maybe people want to start proving that they can play numbers for Hanifin. Only bad thing about losing Zadorov is if you lose a Hanifin, then who's taking those minutes, right?
Mhm.
Anyways, Lindholm, right? Shooting, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, Markstrom, like even though Wolf is the goalie of the future, that takes time. And Vladar is not Markstrom. So yeah, you would definitely lose a few key saves. So
But
that would
Vladar,
definitely
I
be
feel
something.
Vladar's still pretty. He's a pretty average goalie.
No,
Like sometimes he
nothing
has his
against
good
Vladar.
nights.
I really do still believe that he will be a starter one day in the league. It just won't be with us. And I feel like he'll be a goalie. No, I see him as someone who doesn't really get his footing until he's in his mid to older 30s. And I should check
Pulls an
what goaltending.
Allmark.
Yeah, kind of thing. So that'd be something. You're right though. Yeah, that would probably cause you to lose a lot of games. And if you were to make playoffs and you don't have a Markstrom, whew, that's a tough first round.
Yeah, that definitely is.
I, question, bro. They make playoffs. Are we actually going to a playoff game? Do we, like
I
that's a
don't
lot
know,
of money
man. We
for
got,
heartbreak, man.
like I
It's a lot of
said,
money
this.
for heartbreak.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for heartbreak. But
We,
first of all, this team has to be near a playoff spot. And right now, we're
that's
in
true.
contention with 6 other teams for these wild cards.
You
So
know, I'm
we
trying
need
to
a
go to
lot to do
Mexico, so let's
before.
not go to the playoffs.
I mean, I'll still watch it.
Golf season.
At least maybe if it's a home
Oh
game
yeah.
and they're out there, maybe I'll convince you to be like, hey, let's go to one. Let's just go to one.
As
See what
long as they give it their best. That's why I justify buying tickets for a lot of money. I don't know. I mean, do they make it? If they do, great. If they don't, I expected it. Like I don't know. In some sense, like I just don't care if they make playoffs or not, because I just know it's basic middle pack mentality the way the team is, and nothing's gonna happen until you make those trades and you start getting those young guys up and they start getting games to get the experience to then level up their game and then play to a level that we hope for them to be at.
Well, I think also it's just going to be so frustrating that like, from example, last episode, that we're just accepting death basically of, oh, just put the knife in my heart, just end it, go for a top 5 pick. I don't care if you lose at this point. Then they start winning and they're giving us that little hope again that
At
playoffs are there.
this is the
That's it.
problem. We keep going into the same. Did this not happen last year?
Oh, exactly. That's my point.
And
From
did that
last year, this
and did this
happened.
not happen? This was going to happen during the COVID year before COVID hit because I remember us going on some sort of a trend before the bubble.
Yeah.
Um I mean
I'm kind
exclude
of
the
foggy on
21-22 season because it was just good. 2021 season was kind of whatever. But yeah, it's the middle pack mentality thing. Yeah, you get teased a little bit, you get a little excited, and then you're disappointed. You get disappointment. So,
Like
I
literally
mean,
everything involving playoffs went down to like game 77 against Nashville last year. And I went to that game and I got stabbed in the heart literally watching Nick Ritchie on the stupid
Richie? Hold on, let me reenact you right now. Richie? Is that right?
Yeah, me and this guy wearing like a classic 2003 jersey both looked at each other like, did they just seriously put Nick Ritchie out there? Oh my god, I'm never going to forget that. No, but basically I'm so curious what your guys' thoughts are on should this team even make playoffs? Will they make playoffs? Or do you think they won't? And maybe we get a top 10 pick somehow?
And did Rich
Just all
deserve
going
that
down the
8-game
drain.
suspension in Germany?
Mm.
Did you see that?
Wait,
Did you
which
see
side?
that? Richie was, I think he's playing in Germany,
Oh, yeah,
and
he
he
did.
started hammering Gut Buddy on the ice and got like an 8-game suspension.
Oh, I
It was
saw that. I did. I had the
Yeah.
I had to hear again what you were talking about, but I
Bro,
did.
if Sutter was coach, he would have forced Conroy to to pick him up as an asset.
Literally.
He'd be playing so many dump and chase minutes, he'd probably get like 20 minutes a night, man. He would.
Oh, that's terrible. But hey, guys, that has been Flames Talk for you today. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe as always. We love the support you guys gives. And happy 2024. Hopefully, this season either gives the Flames playoffs or a top 5 pick. But knowing the Flames will be smack in the middle of mid. Now to
Pretty
you.
much. All right, like B-Dog said, thank you so much for listening, watching, however you are consuming this content. You did like it, smash the like button down below, leave a comment. Comment question of the day, what are your guys' New Year's resolutions? And hey, how are you going to achieve them? I trust that you guys will do it because you guys are all good, hearty individuals, and you will do everything you want in life. All right, guys, we got to go so we can do our next podcast. Let's get going. Have a good one, guys. Go Flames, go. Peace.
Peace.